Welcome to a special edition of the 755 Followed Me Home project. This 755 won't start. Let's find out why. I suspect the compression pressures are low, but before getting into that, I'm going to look for any missing parts or obvious problems. Make sure the engine has oil in it and that it turns over. As we come back over the engine, negative battery cable is missing a clamp. Everything else seems to be there. These hoses are running in kind of a strange location. So make sure that we have some oil in it. Looks like we have plenty. Is that much too full? It's turning okay. Looks like it has a fairly new starter on it, but everything else looks like it's in place. The only weird thing is that the fan belt's loose. With the initial checks done, let's get started. When troubleshooting a no start or hard starting condition on a 755 or 655, some things are obvious, like a missing or corroded battery clamp. Others can be harder to find, but there are clues. For example, if your 755 cranks over, then there's no need to look into the starting system. If it takes a long time to start but runs, then it's likely the fuel system is behaving normally. A successful start normally results when external and internal demands are met. Basically, the externals are the things that turn the engine over and supply fuel, and the internals are the contribution of the engine building compression pressures. Well, now that the battery is installed, we can proceed with the starting sequence and check the external systems as we go. When the key is turned on, the glow plug wait light on the dashboard indicates the glow plug timer is supplying voltage to the 3 glow plugs. The fuel pump is energized to supply fuel through the filter and to the injection pump, and the hold-in coil in the fuel shutoff solenoid is actuated. After a few seconds, the timer turns off and the ignition key is turned to engage the starter. Note that the glow plug circuit includes a sensing module that factors a combination of air and machine temperatures. When the temperature is below a predetermined limit, as in cold weather or when the engine is cold, the module switches power to the glow plugs. Wait and heat times for 755 and 655s vary. The maximum wait time for the wait light is 8 seconds and glow plugs 30 seconds. The engine may be started once the wait light goes out, and the glow plugs may remain heating to assure a smooth engine start. Here in the shop, the wait light held for 4 seconds and the glow plugs remained heating for 15. The 755 and 655 are IDI or indirect injection engines. This means that fuel is injected into a small pre-combustion chamber in the head before continuing the burn that rushes into the combustion chamber cast into the pistons. IDI engines typically have higher compression ratios than direct injection engines like the 855 and 955. Here is an important warning. Never use starting fluid with your 755 or 655 engines. Damage can and will occur. If colder than normal temperatures are expected, install and use a block heater. Meanwhile, back to troubleshooting the externals. As the engine turned over, fuel began leaking from the number 1 injector line fitting. And on a second crank, fuel also came from the number 3 fitting. Although unexpected, the presence of fuel bears witness that the pump is providing high pressure fuel to the injectors. Well, it looks like somebody has been here before. They've done some troubleshooting and decided that the engine just won't start. So the next thing to do is to dig on in and do a compression test. Well, before taking the air cleaner off, what I thought I would do is approach the number 3 glow plug. Since it's easy to get to, we can perform an initial compression test to just see what we can find. It's a 7mm O. The nut was loose. Again, somebody has been here before. And the glow plug is loose, so we're just going to go ahead and take it out. And there it is. So we'll test and see if it has continuity. To perform the compression test, find a suitable adapter, which is just screwed into the glow plug hole. Next, we just pull this ring back and put the tester on the adapter. Now we want to turn the engine over for about 3 seconds. Well, I would have expected a little bit more than that. When I relieved the pressure from the valve, just a puff of air came out, maybe just a few ounces. So what we're going to have to do is dig into this thing a little deeper. Well, there's number 3, but there's glow plug. It's hard to see, but there's glow plug number 2, and number 1 is down in there. I was able to get to the glow plugs after I pulled the air cleaner off. So here goes number 2. It just makes 150 pounds. And this is number 1. So number 1 gets a total of about 230 pounds. We could do a double check on cylinder number 3. May as well be nothing. While cranking over the engine to do the compression test, fuel was coming out of the line going to injector 1, nothing to 2, and fuel to number 3. This could mean there's a problem in the injection pump, but we won't know until we get further into this machine. At this point, we can assume the no-start condition is a result of low compression in all cylinders. But the question becomes, what caused this? Here's what we know. Someone expected this tractor to work. They replaced bolts with the correct style, replaced the starter, and may have performed a compression test. In other words, this engine was starting, but something went wrong. Having a similar set of compression readings on the blind date engine, my educated guess is that this engine has lost a head gasket, possibly from overheating, and can be overhauled and made whole again. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.